Good afternoon. My name is José Barata. I am professor at the Nova University, where I teach in the electrical engineering department. I teach robotics, but above all, I am an engineer with a strong connection to social sciences and about the world. I also would like to emphasize that above all, I am also a sailor and a human being of this world. Today, I'm going to talk to you about one of my favorite subjects. Look at the sea. The sea, or anyone that has worked on the sea, is forever a sailor. And this is why we, people that served on the sea, always use the words of a great Greek philosopher. There are three kinds of men, or three kinds of humankind: the dead, the living ones, and those that are on the sea. And this, just said like this, is very difficult for you to understand immediately the meaning. But the sea, or being on the sea, effectively changed you. And this will have impact even in your life, in my case as a researcher, as a professional, but also in my own life. Again, a title that needs explanation. What is the basic message that I want to pass? That we need to think that is more important the high-level concepts than how you execute them. Let me try to explain. So the importance of an algorithm, the way I see an algorithm, is a representation of, is a high-level representation of a certain reality. Of course, I'm using programming concepts. I'm a computer scientist, so I use these. And I'm always insisting with people, please, the language is just a way for you to execute a representation. This is a very, very interesting subject. Do not forget what I said in the beginning of this course. I was telling you about that I am an engineer. In particular, I'm a roboticist. I developed robots, do research in robotics. But above all, I am a human being. I have an interest in society. So what teaching robots has taught me, or what could I get from this interaction with robots? A lot. And one subject that when you study robots, you can immediately analyze or make examples about swarms, about collective behavior. That we humans, at the end of the day, sorry for those that probably will find this very harsh, we are carbon robots, let's say, with a soul. So we make interactions. So the robots, the physical robots, also do the same. What we want to talk here is above all about be patient. Being patient is really a quality that you should exploit, that you should use, because it is fundamental for your life. And this is my opinion, and I have lots of experiences on the ships, with the students, and my daily life. So why I'm using this? Be wise like a bear. The most important aspect related with this patient is that you also develop self-restraint. Being self-restrained is very important as well. Everyone probably understands that things, the different systems, different entities in the world are connected. And connectivity, all this connection of the different systems, in fact, create complexity. So, but how have we been solving these problems of complexity. I give an example. Society is a very complex entity, and everything in the society or many different aspects are connected. In fact, what we want to discuss here, or what I want to transmit in this episode, is something related with an area that computer scientists use. That is, this is not, or this is what I want to say, that this question of friendship and enemies is not a zero-sum game. What I mean by this? What I mean is that we can be very good. Let's suppose in an organization, you can be very good and have lots of good friends, supporters of your ideas, but having one enemy only can create a lot of trouble. So you can look at the person and say, oh, I am very good having supporters, so that are supporting my ideas, but to reach, and this is a bit related with game theory, to reach a certain objective, in fact, you can or should avoid this enemy. I think this is Monsieur de la Palisse truth. Everyone understand that people need to talk. But why I am bringing this to you? For two reasons, in fact. I wanted to demonstrate that with some examples of situations that I had in my life as an engineer that occurred, that demonstrate this importance, but also I want to make the connection with something that I have mentioned in my previous episodes. Remember when I talk about perception? Perception is something that is dependent on the information that you get. So when you talk, you are able to somehow change the perception of the listener. Well, this is really an episode that is dear to me. It might look at you as some obvious thing. It is obvious, true, but many times we forgot. For me, this episode is much more about my life experience as a sailor. I've been working in a restaurant, as engineer in a company, and as a professor in university, than anything, than really about engineering. But anyway, it is very much connected with my three principles, okay? The passion, love, freedom, and diversity. It's very, very related with this, because when you treat people well, you need to understand diversity. You need to be ready to accept this aspect. Another thing that I would like to call your attention is we do not attract flies with vinegar. We attract with sugar. We need enablers. You know, why we are talking about this is more or less obvious that this aspect, but many times it is forgotten. And what we want to say, what I want to share with you about these aspects. Let's give an example of technology. Technology, we have in many situations available technology, but who exploit that technology? We need enablers. I'm going to give an example of, let's talk about agriculture. You know that agriculture needs to be optimized, needs a lot of technology. Well, will not only talk about how I solve my problems of daily life as an engineer, but also how social life, all society can give me good examples to teach students about engineering. So it's a bidirectional approach, and I'm very proud of this. You know, I'm a computer scientist, and I always say that computer scientists are trained for what? A lot of training is divide the problem in parts. Remember what I was talking about, a reductionist approach? Computer scientists do a lot. We always try to find, we facing a problem, immediately we create a box. Okay, this is the problem. There are inputs, there are outputs. What is inside, we will decide later. What is the relevance of this? If you sometimes when the problem, you change a little bit one of the parameters, then this will have a very strong impact. And we have thousands of examples of this. For instance, in some political demonstrations, sometimes the fact that one person do something, this provoke the avalanche and the movement of and the biggest outcome. So this is some examples. So I can simplify complexity in terms of using a thorough, I would say, structured approach that we know, that is dividing, creating the architecture, identifying the parts, how they interrelate, analyzing, but also understanding aspects from the complexity theory, like self-organization, like these chaotic systems, because they are very important to understand many of the things in our daily life. Thank you very much.